Hey traders, Ryan from blockstocks.com. This video is about how to profit from real-time option flow. If you've never used option flow, what it is a real-time display of option orders that come in from institutions. And institutions place really large trades in what they call block trades, sweeps, or dark pools. Now in my article here for medium.com, and I'll include a link for you so that you can check it out, I've got some really important terminology down here that I just won't have time to get into with the video. So please check that out because these terms are going to show up in the platforms that we use. So you're going to need to understand what those are. A couple things is insider trading with, for institutions is illegal. If you work for a company, let's say you work for Apple, you're not allowed to trade Apple stocks or shares based on what you know of the company or business partners. On the other hand, what you can do is you can just follow the volume of where institutional money or so-called smart money is going. And so, for example, if an institution, let's say, dropped $1 million on or stock X, then without having known what the catalyst was, that you could just see that a high volume trade was made and take the same trade and profit from the burst of momentum from the institution. So that's a lot about what this video is going to show. The second thing I wanted to say was, this is not trade or financial advice. Do not take the trade example that I'm about to go into because you will be too late. And as you know, all trading involves risk of loss, and in some cases greater than 100% loss. The information is being presented as my opinion and interpretation of the market. That said, let's now look at a dashboard for InsiderFinance. I actually have tried several order flow websites, and to be honest, this is actually the one I enjoy the most so far. And let me tell you why. On other websites, they have the real-time option flows coming in, but in order to use the other tools that they have, you actually have to open a separate tab for every tool that they have. Whereas on this particular website, you can actually have a lot of the information all on one page. Love that. So the way that I like to use the dashboard here is I like to look here at this right side here called top tickers. And you can actually sort this in a number of ways. The number of out-of-the-money options, unusual out-of-the-money, momentum, etc. But I personally like to follow the unusual volume. So here we can see that maybe the top ones listed is BBIG and QS and AMC. Now over here, this is what they call Smart Market Insight, and basically what it is it's gonna filter. It's going to filter the real-time option flow for you so that you can then sort it by however you want to view it. So what I like to do is use the unusual contract sort here. And so what it's telling me is we're getting some unusual option activity in these tickers, which is this. So let's focus in on this QuantumScape one here. So what I'm going to do down here in the real-time option flow is I kind of want to know where the highest conviction trades are. And interestingly, they have a tool that does just that. They have a tool here called Heat Score, and what it is an algorithmic calculation for the highest conviction trades. So let's click that and see what it does. Now, interestingly, QuantumScape or QS is coming up on the high conviction trade. So that really is of interest to me. And the fact that it's the highest volume, second to highest volume traded on this particular day. So now that QuantumScape's got my attention, I need to do a little bit more research about what's happening there. So I'm going to click this beaker, which is ticker research. When I click that icon, it's going to bring up this page right here. And so interestingly, there are all call options coming in. So how do you say that in any other way except that's 100% bullish? So in order for me to know which contract to trade alongside smart money is I'm going to sort this by open interest. When I sort this by open interest, we can see that the most of the trades are occurring here at the top, 10,579 contracts. And that corresponds to the October 15th call with a strike price of $34. The next one down, interestingly, is at 7,666 contracts for the same expiration, but at $30. So remember these two strike prices here, $34 and $30. What that means is institutional money believes that QuantumScape is going to reach $30 or $34 on or before October 15th. Now look at the current market price of QuantumScape, $27. So it's interesting to me that it's trading at this level, but that institutional money is placing a very large bet on the price going to $34 or $30. So let's look at what that looks like on the price chart. I've got Thinkorswim pulled up here. And this is the daily and also the daily, but I just have different tools that I look at. I'm going to shoot some other videos that explain some of these custom indicators because they show me different things. But for now, let's just look at what's happening with the price. I'm going to do a Fibonacci retracement, this tool here, which helps me to find support and resistance. And it works by going from a previous high, which is that one there, to a previous low, which is that one there. Now, interestingly, it is now telling us that the next area of resistance is $29.44, or basically $30. And the next one after that is about $36. Now, if you recall, our top two option strikes were 30 and 34. So it makes sense that there could be some upward momentum that institutions see that will bring QS from $27 to $30. That seems reasonable. Maybe a little less believable, but possible, is that it can come up to 35. Now, I'm going to click this and click a bit further out than what we're seeing. Now, interestingly, we've got earnings coming up at the end of October. So it makes me wonder, what does institutional money know about this that's going to make QuantumScape go from $27 to $34? Right up in here. That's a big jump. And that happens to be the biggest bet made on QuantumScape by smart money. Now, how do we look at how to take the trade? What I like to do is I like to drop down to a lower time frame, maybe the hourly. So let's look at the hourly and make sure that this matches up before we take a trade. Okay, so what I see here is a squeeze there. What that means is a consolidation. It's basically trading sideways, and the momentum or energy is coiling up for a burst of momentum, whether that's up or down. Now, typically, when this finally fires, that it will fire in the direction of the MACD at the moment that it fires. So So it's kind of hard to gauge that on an hourly. Sometimes I like to come back out to something a little further out and kind of see what it's showing me. And so we've got RSI somewhat overbought here. And then if we keep going out to the year, okay, we saw that. It's also overbought. Squeeze already fired. We're going to go out even more than that and see the weekly. In the weekly, we've got a squeeze forming, and the MACD just crossed up. So, you know, the way that I interpret that is that because we're already overbought here on the daily, that most likely we're going to see the price continue to consolidate at this level of support, $27. Maybe even just a little bit down to this other base of support here, 25. But, you know, look at that. I mean, it's trading at $27 for that, you know, that whole time there. But, you know, I'm just not sure if it's going to trade a little bit down there because of what I'm seeing there. But one thing for sure is it's not going to have, you know, with me seeing this, it's not going to have any momentum, at least that I know of, on Monday to have a burst on the an upward burst there. So, but I do still believe that looking at the weekly, that there is still potential for it to move up, because we have a squeeze firing and this MACD is about crossing to the upside. So if you remember, when this thing fires, it's going to want to fire in the direction of the MACD at the moment that it fires. So it gives me maybe some conviction, if you will, that okay, maybe they are right. Maybe there's people with millions and millions of dollars and all the inside information. Maybe they do know something that's going to take QuantumScape from $27 to $30, or take it from $30 to $34. So let's finish by looking at the options chain. And I've got October 15th, and interestingly, you know, actually when I dropped that down and we look down here at the statistics, put call ratio on, you know, Thinkorswim is saying basically like no puts. So once again, we've got bullish sentiment. So let's go back here to the October 15th options chain. And we are verifying here that the highest volume is occurring at the $34 strike. And going down from that, you've got highest volume at $30 strike. But going up from that, you've got a lot of volume at the $40 strike. And, you know, I don't know that the price will actually go up to $40. Sometimes that's a psychological level. But what you could do, you could trade this in a number of ways. You could buy the highest open interest, so you could buy the $34 strike. And remember, this is, you're going to be too late. You know, I wouldn't take this trade. This is just an example. But had you seen this alert real time, then that would have been the time to take the trade. You could buy the $30. And for me, that's probably what I would have done, is taken the $30 strike, because there's a more likelihood that the price will go from $27 to $30 than from $27 to $34. Or a third way that you could do it is you could trade what's called Delta 70 calls here in the money. And that's actually a safer type of trade, but it costs a little bit more. But part of that is that, you know, you're a lot less likely to lose money when you take a trade like that. So that's all we have time for in this video. I'm going to do some other videos that focus in on the different tools of the platform. Happy trading.